All right. In this last video segment, we're going to go over two things. The first thing will be the terminology that's used in Jira. So just pretty much common terms that you'll see when you're creating requests or when you're communicating with IT on your requests or problems. And then we're also going to go through the SLA. We're going to do it really quickly just to show you how to find the document if you ever want to reference the agreement that we have with the staff. This information has already been sent to all of the leadership, so we are already in agreement with the staff of Neighborhood House, and we're monitoring our performance against these SLAs so that we can change them if necessary and make sure that we're providing the best service possible. So for the first portion, the glossary, easiest way to get to it is just to open up the portal and then type in glossary into the search field, and you'll see this Jira terminology glossary article come up. Once you click that, it should open up the article. So pretty quick, it's just this standard set of terms that are used, and we're going to tell you about some of them. Approver and approval are both related to requests that require approval from a manager or somebody above you. The approver is the person that's designated to approve the request, and approval is just the process in getting the request approved. Next thing that you'll see pretty commonly is the assignee. That's the person that's working on your issue. If you're dealing with a IT help request, that's going to be IT staff. So who on our team is helping you? And then if you're dealing with like database, the assignee is typically going to be Alejandro, or if in the future you are managing a facilities help request to this, the assignee could be anybody from Daniel to Jennifer or Rebecca or even John Alvis. So you'll see who's working on that facilities help request. This fourth item here is incident, and this is probably one of the most important terms that you will see in Jira. It is regarding a major incident or event that impacts 5 or more users. We categorize that as a site outage. A good example of that is if the internet goes down in your office, that would be an incident. Or if a server is unreachable from your office, that would be an incident. If you have problems using an application and you have a deadline, or there's a financially impacting situation, something that needs to be fixed immediately or needs IT's immediate attention, then you would use this. If you're calling into our phone system, you may hear in the IVR, you'll hear us refer to it as an emergency. These are essentially synonyms. Incidents are emergencies. So unless it is an emergency level, you really just want to make a request. Please try to reserve incidents to actual emergencies, and those can be reported through the portal, through our phone number that's listed there, 206-923-6670, through our extension if you are on a ShoreTel phone, which is 2060, or by emailing ithelp@nhwa.org. All emails that go to ithelp@nhwa.org are categorized as incidents when it creates the issue in Jira for the IT team. So please be mindful of that and submit all other requests through the portal using the general IT help link or whatever categorical link applies to your request. The next object here is issue. An issue is essentially a ticket. Jira and the IT help desk is a ticketing tool that we use to keep track of initiatives that we have going and also requests, and each one of those individual requests is an object known as an issue. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's bad, it is just an issue. That's what the system knows it as, and that's what we refer to it as with the staff, so that there's no confusion when you see it in the portal. The reporter is the person making the request. That's typically the person that's requesting something, or it could be it's somebody that has emailed us, will also be known as the reporter. And this can change. So if you are making an equipment request as a manager and the equipment request is for one of your employees, at some time during that process, we may make your employee the reporter instead of the manager, so that way our communication goes directly to them, and at the end of the equipment request workflow, they will be notified for pickup instead of the manager. Resolution is the state that the issue is in when it's been essentially closed. So when we find out or decide on a resolution for a problem, or if we don't take action on a problem but close the ticket, we will resolve it in a way that reflects what that resolution was. So if the work is done, we will select done as the resolution and then add in notes. If we cancel the request, then the resolution will be canceled or won't do, and we'll also supply notes as to why we have canceled or won't complete the request. Response is the first time that IT contacts you after you make your request. So this is actually measured with a timer, and we have, according to our SLA, certain window of time to respond to any request that comes in, no matter the priority, to make sure that we are offering the highest level of service to neighborhood house staff. Service level agreement, often shortened to SLA, is an agreement between the IT team and customer, which is the staff of neighborhood house, to provide services in agreed upon time, or in an agreed upon time. So again, we'll go over the SLAs pretty briefly, but pretty much this is just our time agreement for work. So even though we have a large window of time allocated to certain request types, we still take action on every request that we have and treat it as as soon as possible fix. So even though we may have 2 days to complete an IT help request, we're still going to take action on it within an hour, and we're still going to try to resolve it within a day or shorter. But at the 2-day mark, we will start getting reminders throughout our team to take action on that request, and we'll also be looking at what expectations we should be setting for the staff in question regarding the request, because sometimes things do take longer than 2 days depending on approval chains and everything else. And the last thing is a watcher. A watcher is any person who has interest in the issue, or any person that you add to an issue that you want to receive notifications or updates on that issue. So a good way to think about this is if you are opening up a request about a calendaring issue, and that calendaring issue involves other people, you can CC them if you're creating the request by email, or you can add the watcher under your requests page in the portal so that those people can see the information that we add to the issue and also comment on the issue if necessary. So that's it for terminology. Again, you'll see these terms floating around. They may seem foreign at first, but after using the system for a short amount of time, all of this should become second nature, and it's not too much to remember. So the next thing I want to go over is the software or the service level agreement, the SLA. So you can just type in SLA here, and it brings up the IT SLA, and you can open it the same way. So in this article, we have our purpose for the SLA, which I've already gone over, and then the scope that this SLA covers, which is basically our team's commitment to excellence, our areas of responsibility, the areas of responsibility that the staff has when making a request to us, because there are points of interaction that we need to have to complete requests, and sometimes that will fall on the staff to make sure that they are viewing the requests and updating them with information that we need when we reach out. It also has our hours of operation, how to contact the IT help desk, the appropriate ways to contact us, whether it be through the portal or by phone or by email, and the reasons to use those different contact methods. And then our committed response and resolution times and continuance. This document isn't very long. It's a quick read, but it's a little long for this video, so we'll just kind of go through this stuff briefly. You can see here our commitment to excellence. Basically, it's just us letting you know that we're holding ourselves accountable for our success rate and remaining within our SLAs. We're actively trying to decrease customer downtime and incidents and applying fixes that reflect industry best practices. So there's many things that we have in motion, or procedural things that we have in motion at Neighborhood House that will be changing over time to reflect best practices. We also want to seek customer feedback and act on those results and improve our service and reduce response time at any interval that we can. So that's our commitment to you. Our team's areas of responsibilities are covered here. It is pretty vast. That's everything from software issues to VPN problems, email on cell phones, office moves, viruses, malware, network equipment failing, audio and video resources in offices, so telepresence for conferencing and stuff like that, support for external like web pages and stuff that we can assist you with if you're having problems accessing them, and database support enhancements, amongst other things. Not all of the things that fall within our scope of responsibilities are listed in this document, but this is a good picture of what we are responsible for within our team. So there may be things that you send to us as requests that we aren't actually responsible for, and if that is the case, we will try to help guide you to the right person. Next, we have staff responsibilities. This pretty much just outlines the communication responsibilities that you have as a staff member of Neighborhood House. Make sure that you respond to us when we ask you for information if we are in the process of helping you. Our hours of operation during the week are 8 to 4, and we do have service available outside of those hours. Please reflect on this document for information regarding that, because it is reserved for emergencies, which are outlined in our service types here. So this is our timetable. I can't go through this in great detail right now, but if you reflect on this document, you can see the type of requests that you can make to us and what our response times and resolution times are. Even though response and resolution times are outlined here, we are actively trying to fix problems as they are reported. So our goal is to respond and to resolve these issues well before it reaches this time limit. You can see that for different request types, like I said, there are timetables available, and also the types of things that would fit into these categories. So please do reflect on these documents. As for continuance, we will continue to review these policies and modify them as necessary with leadership approval, and we will remain in constant agreement with these policies. So if you do see any catastrophic issues with our agreement, please report them to your leadership so that they can be discussed with the IT team and we can address them accordingly. That's all for this video presentation. And if you have any other questions about how to access the portal or how to make requests, there's also information available in the knowledge base that you can search, as I've demonstrated earlier. So please remember what your resources are, and good luck.